Two zoom lenses with different focal lengths, Sony's 16-35 f4 and Tamron's 28-75mm f2.8. But there is one thing common in both these lenses, and that is 35mm focal length. I'm going to put these two lenses head to head and share with you guys how they perform at 35mm. So let's go. Hey guys, what's happening? This is me Tahir and welcome to this new video. And if you are new here, welcome to my channel. Before we get on to today's topic, if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to keep up with my latest videos and show your support for this channel. Okay, back to the main topic. Well, not everyone would like to buy prime lenses due to various reasons. For example, they don't want to carry multiple lenses. I have met people in my photography journey who just prefer one lens instead of carrying multiple prime lenses. They just prefer to buy one lens which can do the job. Well, another reason, maybe they are on tight budget, or maybe they have these two lenses in their camera bag thinking which ones perform better at 35mm. So I thought let's do a comparison with the zoom lenses currently I have in my camera bag on 35mm and share with you guys how they perform. But first, a quick summary why 35mm is so popular and mostly used focal length and what's so special about it. Number one, it is the most versatile focal length. I mean, you can shoot landscape, portraits, you can do street photography, food photography, nature photography, and product photography as well. Secondly, the most important point in my opinion is that the 35mm is the focal length most closely resembling the field of view that we see with human eye. This means that when you shoot at this focal length, you are giving your audience a view like they are on the scene. This is one of the reasons why 35mm is so popular in film and video work as well. Now back to the lenses. I have Sony Zeiss 16-35 f4 and Tamron 28-75 f2.8 lens. I know they have different f-stop ranges, but for the sake of comparison, I will use of course the same f-stop with the pictures and show you guys the result, just in case if you are planning to buy one of these or trying to decide like which one is better on 35mm. Before we move on to the comparison, here's the quick rundown of these lenses. First, we go with Sony Zeiss 16-35 f4. It was released by Sony in 2014. The weight of this lens is around 518 grams or 1.142 pounds. This lens will satisfy nearly all the wide angle needs. It has a constant aperture of f4 for consistent performance. And for the smooth operation, the lens uses a linear autofocus motor and internal focusing design. It has optical SteadyShot to reduce the effects of camera shake on your images. The price of this lens is around 1,000 to 1,100 US dollars or around 1,500 Australian dollars. And now the second lens, which is Tamron 28-75mm f2.8. The weight of this lens is 550 grams with the maximum aperture of f2.8. This lens was built by Tamron specifically for Sony E-mount and it was released in 2018. It has a constant maximum aperture of f2.8. The price of this lens is around 880 US dollars and around 1,200 Australian dollars. Well, these were the quick specs of both lenses. Now let's get down to the main part, which is the photo comparison. So let's switch to Lightroom. So here we are in Lightroom. I have loaded the shots. On the right of the screen, you can see it's the shot taken with Sony 16-35 f4 and on the left it's the Tamron's 28-75 f2.8. These both shots were taken with same settings. The shutter speed is 1/1000. F-stop was 4, ISO 100 and 35mm. Okay, let's get on with the comparison. Let's zoom into the middle sector first. And if I go in and check it out, okay, let's zoom out a little bit from here. Come on. Okay, looks pretty good on both lenses. And if you look where in the center where it says Cockle Bay Wharf, and here maybe it's my eyes, but it seems like the 16-35 is a little bit marginally softer as compared to Tamron. Let's zoom out. Let's check out the corners. The Bank of China here. Yep. Now if we look here, Bank of China and Hyatt Regency, looks pretty good. It's pretty sharp on the corners as well, both of these lenses. Let's get out. Let's try another corner here. In this corner where it says IAG. And now you can see the Tamron is a little bit sharper. It's just marginally, you can see the difference. I hope you can see it on your screens as well. I'm using a screen recorder and I'm just hoping that it can reflect the same sharpness what I'm seeing in my monitor right now. Like these buildings, the windows, it's much cleaner and sharper as compared to the Sony's 1635. Let's zoom out. Let's try another point. Okay, let's go in here. Say cockle bay off. What happens if I zoom in? Okay, and we zoom in here as well. Again, the Tamron is a little bit more sharper as compared to Sony's eyes. Okay, let's move on to the next picture. Okay, now this is the second shot. Again, the Sony is on the right hand side and Tamron on the left hand side. The settings I kept it same at shutter speed of 1/640, f4 and ISO 100 at 35mm. So if I zoom in again, let's start with the center. You guys will see it's pretty good. Both lenses are performing almost similar. But again, if you see on the left hand side here, Tamron is sharper compared to Sony's 16-35. If we look around here, there's not much of a difference. They both are performing fine. And if I zoom out, let's go in the corner and here as well. It's pretty similar. And it's pretty hard to differentiate like which lens is which one. But if we go for like pixel peep, I'll say Tamron's image quality is sharper compared to Sony's. If I zoom out again, let's try another side. What about here? APS-C. Okay, you can see the number 6 here. It's a little bit softer in Sony's as compared to Tamron's. Let's move to another image now. So here's another shot I'm gonna go through with you guys. When I took this shot and came back home, loaded in my computer and saw the preview, first I thought maybe there is something wrong with my camera. What happened here? Because I didn't miss the focus point because I was using the specific focus point, which is the center one in both images. So I was pretty sure I didn't miss the focus. Like the settings, yes, the shutter speed is 1/320th on Sony and 1/250th on Tamron. By the rules, the Sony should be much more sharper as compared to Tamron. Let me show you guys what happened here. So if I zoom in here, that's way too much zoom. Yeah, that's fine. And if we zoom in here, look at the stairs. How sharp Tamron's image is compared to Sony. And it was really surprising for me. And if I scroll up, you see this? All the writings and the architecture, it's so much clear. It's stack sharp on Tamron as compared to Sony. And let's zoom out. And let's try this person sitting in the corner and I'll show you what I mean. See this, how sharp is the person as compared to Sony. If I zoom in on Sony now a little bit more. Oops, my mouse is playing up. Let's zoom out, here you go. And if I zoom in here, see this? It's so sharp on Tamron as compared to Sony. So just to remove this doubt in my head, like maybe something is wrong or like maybe I didn't make a mistake, I went back to same place next day and took this exact frame again one more time. Let me show you guys the result of the next day. So this is the next morning shot I went back and took again. Let's zoom in the center. Okay, if we see, looks pretty good. Again, the Sony is on the right hand side and Tamron is on the left hand side with the same settings on f4. Yep, looks sharp now this time. And if I scroll up or move up, this pattern is pretty much clear. And if I zoom in more, here you can see a slight difference on the pillars. Like Tamron is a little bit sharp, not much, it's just teeny tiny sharper than the Sony. And if we scroll up now, yeah, it's almost same. There are some points where Tamron is tiny bit sharper compared to Sony. If we zoom out, let's check out the corners. Okay, In the corners, I'll say Tamron is pretty impressive. If I zoom out and here, yeah, in the corners, if you see, Tamron is performing better than Sony. So let's see if I zoom out again and try this corner. There's a slight fringing on the corner in both lenses. And if we look at the windows, pretty sharp on both ends, I'll say. Yep, so there are a few instances where Tamron has an edge over Sony. So let's get on to the conclusion now. So after looking and comparing the image quality, in my opinion, Tamron image is sharper by a slight margin compared to Sony's 16 to 35mm lens. So if you own these two lenses, I would suggest to use Tamron's lens for 35mm shots. Or if you own Tamron's lens, you will be all good shooting 35mm shots. And if you own Sony's 16 to 35mm, compared to what we just saw, you might not get the sharpest image compared to the other lenses in the market. So final verdict, Tamron is the clear winner here compared to the image quality plus the price which they are selling it in the market. That's it from my side today. I hope this video was informative for you guys, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon if you want to keep up with my latest videos. Until next time, this is me Tahir signing out. See ya.